What's up, guys? I'm Chris, and today we're looking at the Time Box by Conan Liu, Royce Luo, and TCC Presents. Welcome to the channel, and thanks for tuning in. Please consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment on any questions that you have about the product I'm reviewing or anything you'd like to see in the future. Let me know your thoughts. Also, don't forget to click that notification bell so you don't miss a video or a review. Don't forget to head over to Facebook and join the Chris Edwards Magic Secret Access group. In there, I will be posting direct links to unlisted videos that can't be found visibly on the channel or through a YouTube search or any search engine for that matter. What's going to happen with the unlisted videos is, for example, with certain wallets that don't give you a lot of information in the ad copy or in the trailer or even in the description, I'm going to show you guys where the peaks are, how they work, things like that. So it's borderline exposure in the sense that I don't want to present these publicly to lay people, but I think that if you are here, then you're likely a magician or a mentalist. There are some questions to answer to get into the group. So basically, if we know each other or we have mutual friends, certain groups in common, then it's going to be no problem. You're going to get in. But check that out because there will be a lot of unlisted videos that I think will be worth seeing. I'm going to show you guys a quick presentation of this, just kind of the bare bones of what it looks like. Now, this is part of a bigger routine of mine. This is just a portion of the whole thing. In a larger routine, there's going to be some time misdirection, and what may be obvious to you guys watching in the review right now would not be obvious in presentation in a live show. So basically, I would take a card. Card is torn. We talk about the box and how things can go back in time if we, different approaches, different presentations, but we talk about the time box and how we can turn back time, or you'll have your script, you'll have your patter. I haven't performed it in so long that I kind of forget my script, but ultimately with just a wave, we can show that the card has been completely restored and everything is fair. What do you get? The packaging on this, you got your hard shell box. Inside is your tutorial link and then a velvet carrying case. You get the time box itself, and that's everything. The quality on this is extremely well made. It's made out of, I think, rosewood. Again, it could be maple or walnut. I don't know, but the quality is really good. The way that this works, some of you may have other versions. There are other versions out there, cheap plastic versions. It works essentially the same, but they have incorporated certain things in this to make it so that the gimmick is locking, so that once you have placed in there whatever you want to change, like this can be a switching device, this can be a torn and restored, this can be a transformation device. The sky's really the limit. You decide how you want to present this. They call it the time box because in the presentation, time tends to roll back to an earlier stage where something can be torn and restored. That's how I use this, but really get creative. There's so many different applications that you can do with this. Just a quick close-up on this. This is what the box looks like. Everything is very well put together. It's really quite seamless, all constructed really well. There are no sharp edges. Everything's been sanded down, even, where things have been glued or attached. Like I said, seamless. So the quality is all very, very good. The tutorial is well shot, well mic'd. It explains how to use the box. It explains the handling and also the improvements on this device opposed to other ones, which I've kind of mentioned. in the sense that this is a locking mechanism of sorts. And then within the tutorial, there's some additional ideas and effects, presentation ideas, as well as routines. The difficulty level on this, it could not be easier to use. With a little bit of time misdirection, or really any misdirection at all, or even a simple gesture, the move is going to go completely unnoticed in performance. A beginner can do this. Once you watch the tutorial, it can be performed immediately. This is ready to use. There's no arts and crafts. There really is no setup, depending on what you want to use it for. But I think that would fall more into reset. It is an instant reset, but if you want to change something out, or have something destroyed and then put back together, torn and restored. I don't know. I'm trying to think of different ways of saying torn and restored so that I'm not limiting it to a card. You could take a mirror and break a mirror and then restore the mirror. Or if you have change, money, coins, anything like that. Like, there's so many different applications. So the setup will be dependent on what you use this for, but it's very easy to set up. And like I said, the reset is instant. You would just have to reset whatever you're using it for. Angles, there are no angle restrictions on this. It can be performed fully surrounded. You're probably not going to perform this fully surrounded. It's probably going to be part of like a close-up or parlor show, but you can be surrounded. Can it be examined? So to an extent. I mean, I think that this is a pretty innocent looking piece in general. It can be casually inspected or examined. I don't think there's a purpose. I don't think it would happen because, like I mentioned, you're probably going to be doing this as part of a formal show to where things aren't being handled by your participants. So it's not that type of prop. But because of the locking mechanism, it's not extremely secure because you want this to work with ease, but it could be casually examined. I probably wouldn't though, but that's just me. Pocket space, it's not that big, but it will take up probably your entire pocket. I don't know why you'd carry this around in your pocket. You probably wouldn't. It's probably going to be part of a show. So likely not gonna, pocket space isn't really relevant to this review, I don't think, but I do want to mention it just in case, because maybe you do use this as a standalone routine, depending on how you present it. It definitely could be carried in your pocket. And if you're a worker and you're doing strolling and you want to perform a torn and restored or some kind of transformation or transposition, then this is something that could definitely be used, but probably not going to use it strolling. I would say it is a worker because there are so many different applications, close up and parlor. You're probably likely going to be using this in a working situation or a working environment. Is it worth the $80? So it is a pricier item. Again, with some of the other classics that TCC has reproduced, these are meant to be elegant looking. They're meant to be used in working environments, to where if you're a professional, it would make much more sense to be using these props rather than some of the cheaper versions out there. Now, I don't know what it costs to make this. $80 is fairly steep, so I guess, is it worth your money is kind of dependent on, are you going to be using this in a working environment where you're going to make your money back? For me, I have used this a number of times in working sets. I've made my money back in one performance. So to me, the $80 was worth it. But if you're just a casual performer or you're just a hobbyist, then this may not be for you. Positives, it's very high quality. It looks really nice, very well made. Has the locking mechanism so that you can handle this quite freely without worrying about exposing any gimmicks or methods that could ruin the effect. Negatives, I guess, personally, I would only perform this live. I wouldn't do it over social media because in playback they could figure out the method. It's not rocket science. But live, with time misdirection or specific gestures, or really, like I mentioned, any misdirection at all, the move is going to go completely unnoticed. And the reason I chose to do just a quick presentation of this, even though I just kind of said I would go against using this on social media, is that I'm pretty sure 100% of my viewers are magicians that are looking to purchase products like these. So I don't have a channel where anything is going to go viral because I don't perform on this channel. I do reviews and I do vlogs and things like that. So I don't believe that there is any worry in exposure or anything like that. And that's just why I kind of wanted to briefly show you an example of what can be done with this. Other than that, I don't think that there are any negatives aside from the price point. It is pretty expensive, but we've covered that. If you're a working magician or you want to use this classic effect at a more elegant and professional level, then I'd say that the price is fair. Some may disagree. We all have our opinions, but I think that I've covered everything I can on this. So without any questions or any comments, just feel free and I will get back to you immediately most of the time. Anyway, we'll see you at the next review.